With the population rate going skyrocket, demand being higher than supply, the world has now introduced the concept of going green. My name is Palesa Mlefe. I will be introducing our organization, our aims, and our targeted area. We are the Green Corporation Living, also known as the GCL. The Green Corporation Living is dedicated to improve environmental awareness because we serve, challenge, and empower our community. We aim to start gardens for each household so that people can be able to grow their own crops at their back of their yards. We promote a healthy living lifestyle for health benefits and encouraging the concept of going green. Zalstron is our targeted area because Zalstron is an agricultural town. With only few farms participating in vegetation, that's why we have chosen Zalstron. The weather conditions allow many crops being planted. Therefore, we are going to plant perennial plants. We are going to provide knowledge of being through diet because nature supports, therefore we also need to support nature. Those plants that we are going to plant, they will be planted in a rich soil to give us more nutrients. We are going to educate our society to maintain their own crops. In that way, we will be empowering them to be independent and stop depending on producers for vegetables. We are going to plant many different kinds of crops. I'll just give a few because we've got many. We are going to have plants like mushrooms, olives, potatoes, lettuce, pearl onions, banana squash, carrots. We are also going to involve several departments which will ensure that this project becomes a success. Those departments are the Department of Environmental Affairs, the Department of Water Affairs, Department of Health and Safety, and the Department of Minerals and Energy. Maharishi therefore says, suffering arises from lack of communication. When awareness is established in the home of all the laws of nature, communication is supported by all the laws of nature. In this state, one does not violate any laws of nature and therefore does not create a ground for suffering. By the first line, Maharishi emphasizes that because people don't have much knowledge and they suffer, we are going to communicate with our people, give them information, because green corporate living will bring that awareness to them that they need to support nature since nature supports them. Thank you.
My name is Tindile Mkize, and today I'll be talking issues. As my colleague has already stated, the world is going green, and we as the Green Corporation Living will be introducing the concept one garden at a time. But first, to create awareness, we need to detect the issues, and with the help of the community, carry them out. The issues surrounding our topic include unhealthy lifestyles being led by individuals, food expenditure in households, especially with some families living under the poverty line. We just want to tell them that they can provide for their family at the lowest cost. Water scarcity, and last but not least, loss of biodiversity and soil erosion. The Maharishi quote which I have chose to link with my section of talk is, the seed of suffering lies in the lack of ability to fulfill one's desire. By taking this project to the community, we are saying we are taking away their seed of suffering and giving them the ability to fulfill their desire, which is to provide for their families and financial stability. Thank you.
My name is Reabet Makobo, and I will be tackling the solutions. Explaining our program will make the community aware of the environment. Having own gardens will lead to healthy eating and financial stability because they will buy less. During the GCL meetings, community members will get a chance to interact socially. Firstly, we will start by conducting a survey. Members of the Green Corporation Living, GCL, include Tumelo Tshwane, land surveyor, Palesa Molefe, planter and digger, Reabet Makobo, planter and digger, and lastly, Pindile Mkhize, who is our driver. We will start by conducting a door-to-door survey around the community to find out how many people are interested in the gardening program. With the amount tallied up, our land surveyor will then go about checking the soil and the space of those households which have shown interest. Secondly, we will seek permission from the municipality and present our idea in detail together with our vision for this program and ask for support and permission to implement it. We will then ask for funding from organizations such as the NYDA and community.com to purchase a vehicle for transporting tools such as spades, forks, rakes, wheelbarrows, gloves, and seeds. We will then advertise at the local radio station so that the information will be able to reach as many residents as possible. We will then ask for assistance from 4 members of the community to be part of our project, educate them so that they can act as our agencies when we are not around, as not all of us are Zastron residents. We will eventually then start the gardens for those who showed interest by planting the vegetables that grow in all seasons to avoid weather disappointments. We will then educate the community on how to take care of their gardens, proper maintenance such as harvesting properly, watering well without adding too much water, how to dig seed holes, and how to measure the spacing between them. Lastly, we will do the monitoring. We will check the gardens on a quarterly basis to find out whether they are being well taken care of. If not, then find out where the problem is. In conclusion, the seed of knowledge is deep within the mind. The items of knowledge pass through the senses and are deposited at the depths of the mind. And this is how knowledge is gained, says Maharishi. I can interpret the code as follows. We have the knowledge for the garden project, and we plan to implement it and make it a success. Thank you.
My name is Pindile Mkhize, and I'm back to report the results. What we aim to accomplish through this movement is health benefits and financial stability for the present and future generations. First on our list is grow and save, all summarized in this graph on the left. The 4 bars represent the 4 vegetables that are commonly bought at an average household: tomatoes, spinach, potatoes, and onions. The blue represents the seeds, the red the kilos per month, and the green is the money we could actually save in a year if we didn't have to purchase those vegetables, which I think is a bargain. Secondly, control what goes in your food and freshness. Whether you decide to keep it all organic or add a little fertilizer, at least you know what goes into your body, rather than the chemical-infested fruits and vegetables we buy at supermarkets. Thirdly, no veggies, no meal. We're not asking people to stop eating meat. We're simply saying it could save the environment in the long run. The livestock industry uses a large amount of fresh water, 2% of which is available out of the 70% that covers the earth, in comparison to the legumes, lentils, fruits and vegetable diet. Fourth, plant diversity. Plant diversity eliminates parasite-resistant insects and viruses that are leaving agricultural land lacking in minerals and nutrients. To conclude, the Marisha Code which I have chose to link with my section of talk is thought leads to action, action leads to achievement, and achievement leads to fulfillment, which I believe is self-explanatory. All I can say is watch the space. GCL is coming out there. Thank you.
My name is MERU. I'll be talking more on general point. On this part of presentation, I'm going to talk more on what my colleagues have already said and give some of the idea about the initiative. Using our own idea can improve life. We have realized that using other people's idea mostly it gives us problem in the long run. So by using our own idea to start growing garden and learn to do things on our own, we help our body to become strong and we become healthier as well. Unoccupied land can be turned into gardening. The free space or parks will be turned into gardening for those households who do not have sufficient space so that they can as well reap from the idea. For the people who do not have enough space on their backyards, we will introduce the idea of them grow their vegetation in the old tires. Garden to be done as a learning platform. We are expecting the government to help in implementation of the idea. Schools to be involved in the program. GCL will empower and encourage kids in the benefits of healthy living and therefore being concise of what they eat. Why be concise of what they eat? It's because we have realized that most of the people depend much on making their living through other people's idea. We want each household member to be strong and be conscious of what they eat. Idea to be passed on to the neighbors. Neighbor cities will reap from the idea once it is passed to them. The government to make it a subject. We will ask the national government to introduce the idea to the schools as a subject that will be mostly done in practical manner or in a practical way. I will conclude with Marisha Code that says there is a one basic law that guides all the activity in nature, the law of least action. When communication is supported by the law of nature, it follows the path of least action, which is the path of least resistance. This is a basic of a frictionless flow communication, which will create an evolutionary enriching influence of life. I link this with household members adopting the initiative or the idea of them growing their vegetations in the old tires. By Maharishi saying, when communication is supported by the law of nature, it follows the path of least action. It's simple for us. It says, or it means that whenever the people use the old tires, they won't do that much, but they will reap a lot. Thank you.